Hello. Good afternoon. So, I know I've asked this for over 6 years now. I know, at this point, protesting my parents and everybody tells me the truth. It's just, they're not going to. Assuming they're lying, that is. Assuming they've betrayed me. But I said to my mother, father, and stepfather, can someone tell me the truth? Was I pharmacologically abused? Did you have premeditated intentions to get me to take HIV PrEP? If it's true, communicate. But apparently it's not true. Apparently I'm just coming to a feeling of conviction about my imagination. Apparently I was not betrayed by everyone. Apparently it's a reflection. Apparently I'm seeing betrayal in everyone, but it's really coming from my mind. It's a delusion, correct? Enough. If I was pharmacologically abused, whatever the reason may be, communicate and tell me. If it was for wrestling with Shanae circa 25 years ago, tell me. If there was another reason, tell me. But apparently it's all delusional. Apparently only I chose to take HIV PrEP. There was no betrayal. I said, I think you don't want to take accountability because you don't want to deal with the consequences of how angry I'll be. Is it really that simple? Did you do it to me? Or is it really all a reflection? Is it really all coming from my mind? Is it really all delusional? I said, I need to realize I'm seeing a monster behind your face. It's a reflection. It's all projection. It's coming from me. You did not have sadistic and nefarious intentions to pharmacologically abuse me with the mega regimen of psychiatric medications or HIV PrEP or anything. If the opposite is true, well, communicate, but the opposite is not true. And my father said, please stop. Please help yourself. Please move forward. You try to realize, obviously, like the artwork I did yesterday goes, and I'll share it with you yet again. Honestly, I just want honesty. If they fucking pharmacologically abuse me, just fucking tell me. Just tell me. But like, I'm barking at the dog in the mirror. I'm barking at my reflection. Woof, woof, woof. It's fantasy. It's projection. It's my imagination. It's delusions. What I think is coming from me. They did nothing wrong. I'm barking at myself. So calm down. Calm down. I feel like I'm being made a fool of. I feel like they fucking betrayed me and they don't want to take accountability, but apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently, it's all coming from me. It's all my imagination. So calm down. Realize I'm having a little bit of an emotional tsunami. Patrick says, the only one making a fool of you is you. If you say so. So no one had premeditated. I just feel like I'm being lied to. I feel like I'm being deceived. I want someone to be honest with me. That's all I want. But they say, they have been honest with you. All you want is a confirmation of your delusional suspicions. All you want is a confirmation they pharmacologically abused you with HIV PrEP and so on. That's all I want. Not the truth. The truth is nobody had nefarious intentions to pharmacologically abuse me. And that's. So calm down. It's all good. It's all good. Patrick says the problem is everyone is being honest with you, but you're incapable of accepting it because you aren't taking the appropriate level of medications prescribed by your doctor. If somebody says your mother's a sadistic puppet master, Yeah, who pharmacologically abused me. Yeah, I mean, I'm afraid the reason they don't want to take accountability is because of how angry I'll be. They know I'll transform into the Incredible Hulk of sorts and start smashing shit, and I'll just go fucking crazy. If hypothetically speaking, they say they pharmacologically abused me with HIV PrEP, like a switch will go off in my brain and I'll just fucking snap. But they didn't, so there's nothing to worry about. Let's say my mother sat down with me and said, "Oh, we did it to you because you wrestled with Shanae." Well, that will just obviously, I'll just fucking snap. And I think they don't want to deal with the consequences of that. And, but they say, no, that's not true though, that's not true. Nobody did anything. And also it's, no matter how bad it is, obviously I want honesty and transparency. Obviously if you start punching holes in walls, the consequence is jail or the psychiatric hospital. Even if they did it to me, which they didn't, the best revenge is massive success and to live life well and to make money and be happy and not wind up in jail because, you start destroying property. So even if they admit they did it to me, don't transform into the Incredible Hulk. Don't go like Fred Durst and start breaking stuff. That the consequence of that, even if they did it, even if they all betrayed me, is jail, the psychiatric hospital, or someplace bad. If I start smashing shit and assaulting people and attacking people with chainsaws, well, the consequence is jail or someplace bad. That's not going to end well. That's going to end with, something bad. So don't do that. Hypothetically speaking. Major detract. Somebody says you are going through an emotional tsunami right now. I think your skin is starting to turn green right now. Yes, we need to get back puny Bruce Banner. We need to get back puny Bruce Banner. We need to toggle the emotional switch to off, toggle the delusional switch to off, and calm down. It's untransform from the Incredible Hulk. Untransform. I mean, ultimately, I want honesty, no matter how bad it may be. And they say they have been honest. Nobody pharmacologically abused me. So, yeah, I just want someone to be honest with me, but apparently they are. Just calm down, toggle the switch to off. So he says, is that the same sweater you wore yesterday? No, it's not. Yesterday I wore a black turtleneck. Yeah, I think ultimately, I just don't believe my parents are being honest with me. That's the problem. I think they're lying to me, my parents and stepfather. And I need to accept they're not. I need to accept they're being honest with me. I want transparency, communication. I feel like I've caught them in hidden realities when it comes to my stepsister. I feel like Shanae. I feel like I realize my family and a lot of people want a new relationship with me because of wrestling with her 25 years ago, and a lot of people betrayed me. And they won't take accountability for that. They won't communicate about that. So, that naturally begs the question, did they pharmacologically abuse me with HIV PrEP? Did they gaslight me about that? Apparently they didn't, but if they did, well, communicate. So when you're asked what you caught them in, you can't provide any concrete evidence that you caught them in anything. Okay, let's boil this down. So obviously, I later discovered wrestling with my stepfather's daughter, Shanae, was a bigger deal than I initially thought it was. I discovered 2 or 3 years ago it was a much bigger deal, and they were keeping that secret from me for the past 25 years. So that was a major lie I caught them in 3 years ago. A major lie. In fact, it was such a significant lie that it made me question everything, literally everything. Like, are they being honest about anything? It really completely flipped everything on its head. Because you know, you catch them in such a major lie, it gets to a point where you go back, you replay old events in your head, and you're like, were they being honest with me about anything? Somebody says yes, it was a big deal, and they were lying about that. And if they're lying about that, it's like they say, liars when they speak the truth are not believed. I don't even know who's telling me the truth, who's being honest with me. Is anybody even communicating with me? I just don't know. I feel like everybody's fucking lying to me. Who's being honest with me? My parents and stepfather certainly weren't. Somebody says nobody's perfectly honest. Yeah, I understand nobody's perfectly honest. Like if I get a girlfriend, I don't expect her to communicate about all her past romantic partners. But when it comes to major secrets that need to be communicated, I really hope people will. I really hope I was not betrayed by everybody. So somebody says, "Are you being honest with yourself about the wrestling with your stepfather's daughter?" Like, what do you mean by that? Like what does that mean? Like, I mean, I knew it was inappropriate in nature, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal up until 2 or 3 years ago. Like, yeah, at the time we were both underage. I don't. I'm not really sure exactly what year, whether it was 2003 or 2004. We were both about the same age. Um, we were both. Um, yeah. And my parents have not communicated about that since like for like the past 25 years. Somebody says the fact that you have ignored my questions asking for proof tells me this is all delusions. Like what do you mean? Well, like, what do you mean? I you know, I've come to the realization that was a lot bigger of a deal to my family than I initially thought it was, and yeah, I mean, I think they conspired into betraying. Somebody says coming to a realization is a sign of delusions. Saying you suspect is a sign of delusions. Yeah, I know those are key words for coming to feelings of conviction about what you're imagining to be true. This certainly was not communicated or corroborated by anybody. I'm putting a puzzle together in my head. So maybe, like the artwork goes, I mean, if the opposite is true, obviously communicate. Um, Dog in the mirror, I'm barking at my reflection. Roo, roo, roo. I'm barking at projection, my imagination, delusions, what I think is coming from me. They did nothing wrong. I'm barking at myself. Well, eventually, I don't know. I feel like I'm being lied to. Maybe it's all my imagination. Yeah. You know, like ultimate. So he says, why didn't ultimately? I'm just looking for communication, honesty. If they did it to me, just tell me. But apparently they did not. I think the reason they did it is because they determined, the wrestling was inappropriate by me. And they're like, oh, we got to give them a receipt. We got to gaslight them into taking HIV prep. That's what I think. They thought it was inappropriate by me, and I believe that they premeditatedly gaslit me into taking HIV prep. And I've been betrayed for the past 25 years, but also nobody has confirmed and corroborated this. This is just my suspicion. Okay. So Patrick says, how did they gaslight you when they told you you don't need to take it and you insisted that you take it? I guess that's a fair point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just try to accept everybody's being honest with me. Try to accept everybody's being transparent with me. You know, what is true? Like what is honesty? Yeah. So you really think it's all psychosis? Everything, like everything, like even the wrestling 25 years ago. You think, think Patrick says yes. So why has my family, especially my cousins, and have had no relationship with me for the past 25 years? Why have they been missing? Like why is it because I was schizoaffective? What's the reason? And so why have I had no relationship with my family for the past 25 years? Patrick says it's probably because of your illness and the videos you put out. Okay. Meva says maybe, or maybe some people just suck. Not much you can do about it. Doesn't mean there's a big conspiracy to torture you. Yeah, it's a fair point. Don't automatically jump towards I'm getting bullied and persecuted by everybody. Um, if I am, well, tell me. But apparently, I'm not. Yeah, Patrick says you accuse everyone you have a relationship with of being a sadistic persecutor. Yeah, that's a fair point. Obviously, I wasn't always this way, but lately, I've started to see people as being deceivers and betrayers and bullies, and realize it's all coming from me. It's all delusional. It's all psychosis. Somebody says my cousin's phased out of my life too. It's part of getting older. Hess says, "Wait, why am I banned? You're not banned, Hess. Welcome back." Somebody says, "I wish I don't associate with my family as much as I did in the '90s and 2000s too, man. It happens." Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So it's really all delusions. It's really all psychosis. Okay, okay. Toggle the switch to off. Come out of the emotional tsunami. It's everything's okay. Everything's okay. No one betrayed me. Everything's good. Everything's good. La 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 Major Detractor says, "Why did you ban me? I didn't ban you, Major Detractor." Okay, so I want to show you something. Tell me if you think this is skin cancer or not. Right here. Does that look? See that discoloration right there? Does that look like it could potentially be skin cancer? Now Patrick says it's probably not. It's probably hypochondriasis. You just went to the dermatologist. Um, you know, like 3-4 months ago. Don't go back so soon yet. But yeah, I've been outdoors a lot, getting sunburn and. Yeah, I guess try to trust people. If somebody says something is true, accept it. Accept they're being honest. I mean, people can lie, but try to accept people aren't, you know? People can deceive, but try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Moo. 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 Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, this was a tsunami stream. I know some people don't really care for these, but what are you going to do? So do you really think it all boils down to needing more medication? Ideally, I don't want to take any, but some people say your mind is going crazy. Yeah, they say yes, you need more medication. Patrick, do you take medication or not really? Somebody says it involves therapy too. Yeah. All right, guys. Adios, my amigos and amigas. I think I'm gonna head out for the day. I don't really have any plans. I don't know. Try to realize there's no big conspiracy to hurt me. And nobody has hurt me, and nobody is trying to hurt me, and everything's okay. Nobody's nobody's torturing me. Nobody is torturing me, and nobody has tortured me. You know. Okay, adios.